so hopefully we get them back full strength next time. He said he will be, so looking forward to that, seeing them all come together full strength, all 3 of them. And again, this is one of those things where if you had a player in your fantasy league, or your fantasy team, them not showing up means you wouldn't get points for that match. Not to put them down in any way, but it's interesting where there's like the weird strategy. So you could even ask people like, hey, can you make it to all your matches? Because it's an automatic loss if they don't, because you know they can't really score for creating that day. So it's really interesting, really fun to see this all come together. The fantasy's interesting because most fantasy leagues have individual performance where like there's stats, you know, how many yards, how many goals. So a bunch of different things, really fun to kind of just see, and hopefully we find some things that work really good this season. Hopefully we find some things that don't work at all in the fantasy, and we think, okay, next season we will improve it. But yeah, enough of me chatting. Let's hear these hi-hats.
So listen to hang out here in the Testones match. Theme is drugs this time, huh? Oh man, that could get really weird.
How much animation Pamilo's already created? I swear, people who can draw animations, like Tito doing this last week, I feel like I almost missed my calling in life. Like, animation is so cool. I'm pretty okay at music, though. Maybe I found my calling and I just appreciate it from a distance. Wait, are we getting 2 screen shares? Oh, we got the camera and the screen share. Okay, let's resize these then. Camera up here. Screen share over here. Beautiful. That's perfect. That is the ideal Okay, so apparently everyone familiar with Pamilo's work knows better than I do how amazing as an artist he is, because this is fucking awesome. This is super cool. Ooh. Oh my god, and this is just me in real time fucking realizing the artists we have and how talented they are. This is me not even... We still got Lucaso to join. This team... I like it. I like it a lot. But this is 40 minutes in. Speaking of that, I'm not seeing chat, so I might refresh. I don't know if you guys are chatting and I'm missing it, or if just people aren't chatting right now. Sometimes the restream freezes. Let me refresh in case it's gone. Does look like we have a decent amount of viewers. It says 8 right here just on, I believe, YouTube, so I don't know if you got people watching on Twitch, on Twitter also. Much love to all of you. We are in the 3rd match here of the Tapple regular season. So, yeah, I'm just loving watching this. We're hearing Bedwill create and see his hands glitching out all the stuff in the upper left. We got Pamilo's camera in the upper right, and then his screen share there in the bottom right. And yeah, this is awesome. It's awesome to see. Sorry, I'm getting stuck over here. I need to jump back over and see the other scene. Let's see how Spooky Pixels is doing. This is beautiful and awesome. Oh, what's up, Ryan? Streamception. Does that mean you're streaming right now also and you're watching our stream on stream? Like a react streaming to us? Honestly, oh. Oh, I like this. Some like Miami Vice drug vibes going on. Nice, Ryan. Thank you. Appreciate that. I realize that essentially I'm just, and it's kind of what commentators in general are. We're just like, because now a big thing on the internet is like react streamers. It's people just watching content and reacting. And I actually think there's nothing wrong with that. Some people have like a whole, it's terrible thing. I think there's like degrees to it, right? Kind of like a lot of things in life. But I realized, what is a commentator but a react streamer? They're watching sports live and reacting and announcing it, right? That's essentially, that's all I really do. I'm just reacting, watching this in the moment. But let's listen to what they have to say. Oh, interesting, Ryan.
Move and let's
More
try
people
what's
joining the
happening.
streaming scene. Welcome, welcome, my people. Join us, join us. It's fun. I think streaming's, especially like in a world where you don't know how anything's created, you don't know if anything's real or fake or AI. Being able to see the people live, you can't have, as far as I know, you can't have an AI live respond to someone on video yet from a chat. Maybe you can. But you know, I think it's really fun. I think it connects us to humanity. Like I like watching it for random YouTubers that don't make art, so I'd way rather watch it for my friends and other artists and stuff. It's really cool. But of course, I'm quite biased. Someone who runs a stream sports league for artists. So let's listen to these creations. Looks like we already have some stuff in BandLab over here. So from the generation over, it looks like.
I cannot move.
Let us see if Lucille's camera is available and hiding from us. It looks like it's available but still dark. I don't know if it's off or just not working right now, but don't worry, I will be on this, and just know that she's doing amazing artwork whenever we get to see it, which is lovely. Oh, refresh camera, refresh, enhance.
I don't know what I can select.
Alrighty.
I could maybe help a little. Oh, he's got it.
Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah, I agree. Weirdly, react streaming, well, and especially in modern days where, like, you know, I live up here on a mountain and stuff, like, one of the funnest things to watch a movie or something is watching it with someone and knowing what they think and in the moment having that connectedness. So I think it is, like, weirdly a very innate thing just to watch people talk about things. Yeah, Twitch. Are you on Twitch right now? Where are you streaming? Are you on, you're talking to us on YouTube, but you're streaming on Twitch? Are you streaming on Twitter also? Are you multi-streaming? Yeah. We should find ways to kind of, like on Twitch, one of the things that's cool is like when you're done, you can raid people, right? So like in theory, we could raid you and send some people over, or that would be fun actually. Let's definitely brainstorm ways to collaborate. Also, for those that don't know, Ryan Tanaka and teia.cafe are the sponsors of our team, Team Bigfoot. My team, I should say, Team Bigfoot this season. First team sponsors we've gotten this season, so huge thank you for that and for showing up and for wanting to collaborate. Let's listen to their creative process right now, though.
Better vocals, and I was sticking to about 60 BPM to keep it slower. And I uploaded an MP3 to BandLab if you want to listen to.
Okay.
There's a couple audio or vocal tracks there to play with.
We got Lucille.
But this is more where I was at, and I like what you just did with slowing down that one track.
And you uploaded on BandLab?
Yeah.
On the link that I sent?
Yeah. Do I have to click save? Here, I'll click save.
I click save. And how can I see what you made?
It should be. It says project save, so you should be able to see it.
Okay. Yes. It's
Let me
that
help.
is tricky.
Let me
on
potentially
BandLab,
help with this.
you know? The other day, Rocio was working with Yoeshi, and it's like
Yeah. Hold on. I got this. Let me unmute. Okay, I got this. I got you guys.
Yeah.
So once he saves, you need to click the link again. Like if you click a share link for him and you click that link, it'll then refresh what he's done. But if you just refresh, it doesn't seem to work. So if you click
But
like,
it is not the same session.
oh,
Or yes.
are you guys trying to work in the same session or what's going on? I might
Yeah.
It
I
says
think that's
Survival
the
Parade.
idea.
Paul, are you? Have you joined a link he sent you?
Yeah, through Discord, and
Okay.
it
Okay.
says Nuevo Proyecto,
Okay,
which
okay.
means that this is definitely something he sent.
Yeah. It says I didn't make it. Okay, so Paul, and you've clicked save and you see it.
I
No,
clicked save. I closed it. Now I'm reopening the link to see if it's saved.
Okay, cool.
When I open the link, it's
Oh.
it's
Yeah, it doesn't show the same thing.
it's my thing. I see.
Okay, sometimes I think what might happen is if you're both working on something at the exact same time, it might like overwrite the save with Mariano's. So if you want to put something in, or maybe have a separate session so you don't lose stuff like that, because that's probably pretty frustrating.
Yeah,
Then
stop
tell.
something, and I'm saving it right now.
Okay, and then Mariano, don't do anything, and then click the link again once it's saved, and that might get it working.
Okay.
Also, quick heads up, this is 44 minutes left in the half, so just about half of the half left, a quarter left. Just noticed that myself. But yeah,
Yeah,
ban
that worked.
Okay, great. Yeah, for some reason it seems like clicking the link itself is way different than refreshing, and you kind of have to like take turns passing it back when you save.
So
and
I
then-
refresh.
No, click the link. The refresh won't do it.
Oh. Okay.
It's weird. I don't know why. I mean, it might, but in my experience, the clicking the link is a much better way.
Because maybe have more info.
Yeah. And then hopefully that works. Oh, excited. We're
Slowly,
seeing
yes.
it. 29, 30, 43. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna mute again, but if you guys need anything, let me know. I'll be around.
You.
Yeah. Technology can be so weird, but we got the whole team back. This is beautiful. Let's listen to this creation.
Sing to the trees, but they dance sing back. They dance with me. I went to the forest. I sang to the trees.
Ooh.
I don't know how to mute anything, Mariano. So it's all. I don't know how to mute anything. So there's two vocal tracks also there playing.
Yeah.
Oh, I
With the
like
amp.
that. I thought that was intentional. I thought that was really cool, actually. Interesting.
Mute.
This is kind of a blap, though.
Now we are listening.
Sorry, that's like a slap. Sorry, that's like a good song. I just went from slang to slang.
Has the beat.
It's kind of a blapperton. You're like, what the hell is a blapperton? Sorry, a blapperton is a blap, which is a slap, which is... So I guess really quick, because I like hearing other people's slang. I think a lot of hip-hop says this, but specifically in the Bay Area, when something's good, we say, oh, that slaps. I don't know why. That's slapping. So I'm like, oh, that slaps. That's a good song.
The piano.
Let's listen.
Moment of this melody,
Oh, I kind of like that.
like so nostalgic. We don't need that.
I went to the forest.
This voice, I like it.
Sing to the trees. They do sing back.
I'm just happy we got Lucille back on camera, too. Making that amazing art over there.
You know what? I will export this
Ah, fuck.
to put it on to get stems and maybe to get the voice separate from the beat, and then maybe I can take the beat and make something new with
I
all
have the stems. I'm uploading them.
okay.
I just
So-
wanted to see if you liked that before I
Yeah,
bought.
I think I like this. I don't like the last voice. It's so
I
electronic.
went to the forest.
This is so
I
electronic.
sang to the trees.
This voice, I don't like it. And this one,
It's definitely pretty electronic.
Forest. I sang to the trees. I didn't
it's so singing, you know. But this voice,
sing back.
it's crazy, you know.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
a
a
voice that
trippy voice. Yeah, welcome in everyone. Just really quickly want to give love to everyone in chat, everyone watching the stream.
So now take the stems and put the stems on the session. So we have all the tracks separate.
Cool. They'll get that going, and they'll do the refresh, the link thing. Ryan, I don't even know what Odyssey is, to be honest. I know about like Kick and some others. I don't know, smaller, newer ones. I need to look into Odyssey. I ought to see what's going on with that. Daily starting October. That's good. That's a grind. I like it. Well, it depends. Depending on how you do it, it can be less of a grind. And Groteska, Fendel. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a lovely morning. And I do agree, Fendel. If we can, we should definitely get you in as a guest artist on one of these 3-person teams, if you'd be down. And it works with the schedule. For now, though, let's jump over and see how Team Mushy Mushy is doing. Oh.
No, I don't know what they are. I mean,
crazy sounds. Crazy glitches. For those that don't know, I was going to say obviously, but maybe it's not obvious. I just know them well. This is B-Dwill. That's B-Dwill's, or B, as he is in this league, sorry. His Twitter handle is B_Dwill, D-W-I-L. Those are his hands making this lovely music and beats on the upper left here. And then bottom right there we have Pamilo Cerone, who is doing the visuals, frame by frame animation. One of my favorite things to see ever. Odyssey used to be called Library. Oh! Library's still around? And they stream... Was it always streaming? I thought it was more of like a... I don't know what I thought it was, to be honest. I thought it might have been like a storage coin kind of thing. That's cool, though. That's really cool. Cool to hear that a Web3 project's like pivoted and doing that. I should learn a little more. Yeah, why not? Exactly. I do want to talk shop with you a little about how you're like multi-streaming to all of them, if you're doing like just the multi-stream out from OBS or what, but we don't need to discuss that too in detail now. It's more about watching this art get created. Video. Okay, yeah. So it was storage, but yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh. Where's our camera? Where'd our camera go? Alright, let me turn that down a little, see if I can find what's happening with our personas. Oh, we also do have our Lucaso camera, Pamilo camera still, it's just not on. So let me, maybe we got a new link for that. Try to refresh. Let me hit a refresher tin. Okay. So weird. I see him on my screen, but you guys don't see. You know what? Let me refresh this call, maybe, or. Oh, we got B back. Oh, we got everyone back. I'm not gonna refresh anything. We are back. As some of you might know, that's why one of the difficulties of live streaming all this is, you know, there you go, cuts out, cuts in, just internet connection, everything working. Sometimes things dip out for a second, so appreciate you all being patient with this. Mariano did have a good point that we should have some sort of like backdrop in general, so when people do drop out, it's not just black empty space. Very good idea. So might work on getting more of a, not even an overlay, like an underlay, I guess. If that's even a phrase. I also like hearing just the little background sound of, I think that's Pamela, where he's at. Almost sounds like a school, university. So yeah, B right now is making pretty much all his music in these devices themselves. And I think he's going to send it out at the end to export and stuff over into BandLab so we can hear the final piece there. But we're actually hearing it quite well just with the phone audio, so hope you're all enjoying hearing all of this. I could probably turn down the Pamilo a little bit, a little less background noise, but I do like it. So let's just listen on in.
And then they jump into your chat and jump out again. And there is this crazy what do I I and play their or what's it and they're
Nice, Fendel. You got a gig over at Barry's. I know that place. Extra Festival with Maurice. Met him also. I also know that guy. It's cool knowing a little bit of your world. Awesome to hear. Have a great show. Thank you for hopping on in here. I'm sure you will have a great show. Sounds like a very lovely time. I wish I could join y'all. And agree, Rocio. Rocio. God, I'll say it better. I swear. I'm learning. I think I'm like 80% saying your name right this time. At this point. I love watching B create. I also just love the beautiful visuals of his screen. Pamilo also. This is like a really...
Yes, I'm
so much to say, but I'm just gonna
going
watch it.
somewhere in the real world this afternoon. It is very scary going outside these days, you know.
I do always forget, however, that it's... I enjoy watching One Team so much. Right when I like get this point, we should jump back over and see how Team Mushi Mushi is doing.
Mushi
With their
Mushi.
various AI and hand-drawn animations coming together and music. I don't know why my chair is not green screening that well right now, but that's life. Let's listen in. Oh, they got more layers. Looks like things got imported correctly. That's what we love to see.
Bass.
That bass sounds nice. That bass sounds nice.
We're gonna move.
Ooh, this makes you want to rap. I shouldn't rap though. I got the drugs. They want the hugs. Why I gonna bug you if they can go but they flow in
For
the-
me, everything sounds the same, so we have like duplicates. So I will delete some. Already selected.
I got a
Oh wait, let me. Oh, okay.
Okay, I go back. What?
No, just the synth ones. I didn't hear the. I can see a difference between them if I look at the visual.
I didn't see any difference, but let's
Might
hear.
just be amplitude. One looks a little louder.
Drop down menu.
This is the blue one.
Yeah.
And have the voice.
Yeah, you can hear the voice on it.
Yeah.
So
Let's
maybe I
try
just done
this.
that voice.
Items, profile items.
For me, it's like Suno is like putting on synths lot of harmonic sounds that fine and put it on synth, and he gives to you a version that it is only the piano and the pad, and another version where it is the piano, the pad, and every harmonic that finds. So that's why the voices are there.
Right, that's what I
Sometimes-
was saying. I don't know if I like this. I like the top one better, I think, because it has like a scratchy sound over it, almost like breathing.
This
You hear that in the back? It's like a breathing sound.
yes. Okay, we can take that.
I appreciate that, Rocio, but I'm not gonna cop out by only saying half your name. I'm just gonna learn your name right. I'm not gonna do that bull. Maybe once I get it right, then I will say Ro as like a victory.
That was all I
But for now, no.
How do I close this thing?
I like the red one better. The red one's a little rounder, a little more full.
Oh, you've actually collabed live with Pamilo before, so you already know.
South
Ah,
and drum.
Oh, wait.
And
no.
and thank you to
Reading just
there.
thank you for saying that you like hearing me rap, because I always feel terrible when I rap, especially in other people's songs. Like if it's my song, okay, but I don't know. I think it's just kind of disrespectful sometimes to be like, oh, here's your song. You know what should be on this? Me. You know what the song's missing? Me. Like it's such an egotistical thing. It's just like sometimes the beat's fun and you just want to. I got to. You just want to get a little rap going.
right. It's not
Yeah,
like
it's just
Garage
this.
Band. I get it.
We have drums. I love these drums.
Emotional. I'm always on emotional mode. I'm born in June. My zodiac sign's a Cancer. The only reason I get crabby is because it's protecting my emotional side. I love this, and I love that y'all are loving it
All
too.
the reverb.
Right.
So I can pick this and put reverb later. Or
Okay.
maybe we can take the reverb one.
Doesn't matter to me. I only cared about the synth one.
Okay. So we got these channels, and about the vocals. I put a delay. I need I will check effects later.
So this middle segment where it's overlapping with the other audio track, it sounds good with both.
Out to the forest, sing to the trees. They didn't sing back, but they danced with me.
Something that is cool to make is when you take stems, you can export one of the channels of the stem and put it again on the AI. So there you can prompt. In this case, you can prompt the vocals. For sure, Suno will make music with that. Or you can take the vocals and say, made a synth with that. So with the vocals, you can make an instrument that is super different to the vocal, and you have sometimes results like they are like cross-cell
Interesting.
fusions between a voice and a synthesizer.
Interesting.
That kind of stuff.
I was just thinking, and hopefully I'm not cutting them off too much here. Something that I love about Teztones is that I had some friends call me. We were working on a song together at some point in person. They called me. I wasn't there in person. They're like, oh, hey, look, we finished the song. And it was like, I listened to it for a second, and they were all like, oh, whoops, sorry, turn my camera off. Kind of laughing, like, what'd you think of it? And like, I could just tell, just their energy, just the song. It's like, it didn't sound like them on instruments. It didn't sound like their, voices or whatever. I was like, oh, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's cool. Like, is this a Suno generation or something? Like, oh, it's like, yeah. Okay, just because I don't make music with AI doesn't mean I don't know what's going on. And I really do appreciate that I get to, like, see this process and know, like, oh, there's stems, you can take it apart. I wouldn't have ever realized you could do all those things. I thought you get a song and that's it, but the stems and then the re-prompting, like, just give me a new bass line, give me a new... It actually is really cool and a very creative process. So,
Yeah.
just something I'm grateful for. I feel like I can go around the world and know more artistic processes semi-confidently. Can't pull a fast one on me anymore.
Trying to
Welcome in, Jeff. Hope you're having a lovely morning.
warp. Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying what we got going on here. It's the Teztones Athletics
let's
Premier
work
League. If
without
anyone's joining who doesn't know what we're doing, we have competitive matches. This is a match between Spooky Pixels, who we're watching right now. We got Paul, who's a ghost in the upper right, Mariano in the middle, and Lucille in the bottom there, going against Team Mushi Mushi, who is, we'll jump back and check in on them in a second. The theme for this match, a little crazy, drugs. So we have 26 minutes left in this half. We'll have a quick break, and then we will jump back in and have another 90 minutes for these teams. This is all they have. We spun the wheel at the beginning of this match. They have 3 hours in total, 2 90-minute halves to create their piece, export it, discuss everything. So, yeah, we're just about getting to the end third here of this first half. Yeah.
We'll split
And that being said, let's jump over and see what's going on with Mushi Mushi.
Gotta go
Burn
check
it.
piano.
We are yet to
Burn.
approach even the first moment of
Mushi Mushi. So yeah,
No.
in the upper left
the
there,
way it is to
we
be
have
done.
B Dwill making these beats live. We do have Pamilo Chirone here, but his internet's been cutting out. Yeah, it looks like he's not currently on the call.
No,
Like,
it's
the
kind of
internet-
funny you used the.
Hopefully that comes back.
I was
Yeah, he's got some
thinking
crazy
the
samples
opposite
going on,
of
so I'm gonna start
fire
talking
is
over.
water. So then
Looks like he's got maybe like.
now it
what,
just
YouTube
looks
up
like the
over
button
there?
is just
Go and
crying.
Do some video sampling.
No,
What
no,
if I- would you
don't
hide
burn
can see
it.
better? Yeah, a little bit. Interesting.
Claims that because of their lineage and whose feet they washed and whose feet they washed, that you should give credence to them. Knowledge is provisional. And
Where the hell did they?
we are yet
Where did they get
to
the
approach
sample
the
from?
first
Whose feet they washed. Whose feet they washed. I don't know why that struck me as funny.
moment of civilized understanding. The way it is
Let's listen in a little bit here
Is
and,
by
kind of watch
trusting
that screen.
yourself.
I'll jump out for a second.
trusting your intuition. Reject authority. Authority is a landing. The way it is to be
Reject
done
authority.
is by trusting yourself. We are yet to approach even the first moment of civilized understanding.
Yep. Of understanding.
The way it is to be done is by trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. Reject authority.
Oh.
Authority is a lie and an
Drugs. now I get it. It makes sense. Okay.
Isn't, don't get the idea that it's this liberal rap about how
I think it's funny how this beat is so like dancey and fun, and then these samples are like very.
something that we
Oh,
heavy, but
I can't do this
Yeah, they're serious.
on loco. I forgot.
These are different worked out by priestly castes people to keep things under control. Institutions seek to maximize control.
Okay. I see where this is going now. Okay. Yeah.
It really is crazy that it's like an entirely machine, no computer-based system of making music. Witchcraft.
Okay. Any other glaring issues? Search tracks.
How much of that has been taken away from us?
Yeah,
Seem
right. Dancing with the beat.
fine.
Good way to put that.
These philosophical shell games. Well, a lot.
'Cause you didn't wash the feet.
I gotta do this.
Watching the beat. Watching
This
the beat. Options they beat. Like
is-
optionally. Caution they see. Isn't it crazy that every time I start rapping, they're like, subconsciously, they're like,
Feel
no,
it.
I can just
But
feel it
look
rapping.
back 100 years
Stop it.
to a
Stop it
world
now.
where pianos wore pants. You know, we've made a little progress on the sexual thing.
Did you say pianos?
Maybe more or less.
Pianos wear pants. Is that what he said?
You know,
Are
Did you
you?
say pianos wore
We
pants?
are particularly repressed in the area that relates to the psychedelic experience, because it is raid to the dominator insect invasion. They can't
What?
stand it because it empowers the individual. It dissolves the cheerful.
Did he just say insect am I hearing this right? Did he say insect invasion and pianos wore pants?
It enriches the accessible,
Did you guys hear that too? Like, am I going insane, or is this guy saying just things that almost... He said insect invasion, right? Y'all heard that? Is this guy on drugs? Dude, am I on drugs? Fuck, this piece is making me wonder. Holy moly. I have no idea what this dialogue's coming from. I'm glad someone understands. I feel like I still don't quite understand. Okay, you guys heard it too. It's weird because the first part seemed like a very like logical like due to the economic blah blah blah. Like it sounded like he was really saying some things, and he starts talking about pianos wearing pants and insect invasions.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
Got like Lewis Carroll real quick on us.
Women
Oh,
the
by the
green
way,
of public whippings. That this program of political enlightenment must also then
critical and like.
hands-on on how people want to relate
Ah,
in their minds.
this is so Tezos. But, however, I have to do something. Thought it was Krishnamurti, but after that it was Krishnamurti. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you've been a musician, you know about, you know what artists do sometimes. All right. This is feedback. Let's merge. Header, menu, cleanup. All right, let's see if I can start playing the music. Have I heard this track before? Man. I've heard them all. See if I can burn my thing on the main site, because No, yes! Burn it! Oh yeah, this one does work. Okay, makes sense. Burn it! Burn it forever. Transaction failed during confirmation. Lies. Oops. No! No. Wait. It's in my favorites. I can play it again. Oh. Wow, that actually does what I want it to. Okay, so it works. I gotta wait until this thing updates though, so I'll give it a few minutes. I might hide the chat window when I'm doing the take, though. Who are these? Who are these people? Oh no! Did it update? It might have updated. Oh yeah, it did. See, the connect thing is gone. So that's what happens when you update a website. Click on this. Oh no, I messed it up. It's all confused now because not supposed to update it in the middle of using it. Let's see, actually. This is a good time to test this. The fee for artists isn't working. It goes to oh man, when you do bug testing, it's you find a lot of things. Okay, let's try this now. This is nice. I should buy it if it's for sale. It is. $13. It's okay. I'm getting a WAV file too, none of that crappy MP3s. Oh, you just saw that I had some money in that wallet, but it's a small budget for buying. Hey, this is pretty good. View transaction. Hooray. Hooray for the blockchain, huh? My kind of music, it's just so chill. 10:21. See, so it helps to keep things in context. That's why I wanted the date back. Let's see. Search tracks, tempo. Alarm. How did I not know about this guy, man? This is like my kind of music. I don't have a lot of time. Oh, there it is. Chat settings. Yeah, there was a guy yesterday asking to be a mod, but also at the same time asking me to, they wanted work done, like creating a logo. He sent me a link to a logo site in Texas. He didn't seem like the owner, let's just say. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to change the... Damn. I should be just chatting. That's what I'm doing. I have to change the title. Does it show up here? It used to show that, hey, you changed your topic. This one's only $4. I'll buy it. Is it $4 though? How's Tezos doing right now? Still at 75 cents, huh? What a tease. People are like, oh my god, I'm gonna go back to $1. I'm gonna get a tattoo of Tezos on, yeah, this is someone actually said that. I won't name any names, but... So So, alright, so basically nothing really interesting happening. AVAX went up this past week for some reason, but it's always kind of doing its own thing. Dusts. We need an indicator here that says, like, if you already own one. Oh yeah, I should just type it in directly. Already own the existing token. It should tell them for listing the other owners of the token. Or social. Yeah, so you should be able to see who else owns it so that you can be like, hey man, let's be friends. Oh, I'd love to sit in this whole thing, but it's long. 11 watching now, that's not bad. They got slowly picking up. I was just saying, like, how, like, you know, in the early days of crypto, you know, you're talking about like a Bitcoin meetup or conference, there'd be like 3 people there, you know. Back then, Bitcoin was $100 and no one gave a fuck. But then, as soon as it started going up, oh, everyone is just like, ah. And I go to these big conferences and they're just like not doing anything, you know? So I just stopped going to them. Everyone's talking about that Ray-Ban Meta glasses thing, but I don't get it. I think it's gonna flop for the same reasons. Where was it? Yeah, this thing. Meta smart glasses can take calls, play music, and live stream from your face. Yeah, why do you want that? You know, you can do the same thing with your phone, except that it's in your hand rather than on your face. And I don't know. It's like same with VR, right? Like, it's not socially acceptable to go be in public and like not being there, right? Like, oh, I'm in my own world, and right. I just don't see it happening. Like, how I don't know, like, stuffing. You're like shoving. Basically, you attach a camera to my glasses here, which you can already do. You know, it's like not that hard. Cameras are very small these days. You can just like I could just do it right now. And I'm like, hey man, I have a camera on my face. And you're like, oh, you know, that changes everything, right? They're like, oh no, don't worry, just go about your business as normal while I shove this camera in your face. Like, I don't know. So, you know, I have a feeling Mark has trouble making friends, and that's might be a reason why. So did it happen?
Exactly. Yeah, cool. Dude, I'm loving seeing his animation with the mushy in it though, and you have a weird combination of like a very dancey, fun beat and a very weird, trippy vocal. That's honestly, it's hard for me to leave watching your team. Like it's weirdly entrancing, and I don't know why, but I really like what you're doing over there.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Do you have
I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah. What is there any specific inspiration?
Oh no,
or
what am I
direction, or are you
doing?
just kind of feeling it out as you go. How'd you decide that specific Terrence McKenna speech?
I bought it from
Well,
Object.
It's pretty basic if you talk about that.
Swap
I tried a different one
on
first, and then
teia.
I decided this one because I had seen it before.
Didn't have enough insect
And
invaders in the first one.
I totally
and
missed
it
the
hit
chance.
Some sharp points.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thus,
and just letting
actually,
it happen.
I
I
don't
actually
even
tried
know what-
to set up some stuff and it didn't work very well.
Okay.
So I just let it rip and it worked better. And now I just have to listen to the recordings and
Hey, I bought
They're-
this.
they're all different.
So that's what you've been doing this whole time? These are all just different live takes you're essentially recording?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. I thought you were like doing different layers. Fun.
No, I'm just going live and letting it
Beautiful.
happen.
The B way.
Yeah.
B is for
Yeah.
be live. I don't know. So yeah.
There I am.
So you're gonna
for just be.
just be. So you're gonna choose one of these and then
Dude, look at all these
export
people.
or bounce that out and then throw
Yeah.
that into BandLab.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I don't know if Emilo's gonna wanna do something over the music. He said he might. That would be cool. But I know he has his hands full, so I'm actually thinking of how can I now.
Like him doing music himself, like adding to the music.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how
Oh,
it
yeah.
flows. I think it's probably has his hands full, but I might try to help him with some animation elements too.
Ooh. So
we
you guys are
can
both
do-
gonna.
Sounds beautiful. Sheesh. He would say that. He sounds exactly like he sounds in real life. I'm gonna hide that for now. Sort of leaves this weird gap though. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. I bought 3 tracks. Okay, well, maybe 3's enough. See, how do I want to do this? So I can go through. On this computers, this is perfect. Hello everyone, this is Ryan from teia.cafe, currently playing On This Computers by Marcelo. Seems pretty fitting for this video. Lately you might notice I've been starting to live stream, and part of it is an effort to start promoting the new version of teia.cafe. So if you've been around Tezos for a while, you probably know that there is a teia.cafe version 1 that I kind of plowed through. That's the best description. You know, I didn't, until a couple years ago, I had no idea how to code. I had some idea, I guess, but, you know, with the help of like AI and just a lot of grinding, you know, I taught myself how to do front-end code, but my first version was a little, you know, interesting, let's say. But we redid our whole site. I'm working with a professional developer, Joe Simon. You might have heard of him. He's done a lot of projects on Tezos for sure. So his name is all over the place, you know, maybe in things you might not even know, you know, because, yeah, he's not very active on social media, so he kind of does a lot of the work in the background. But either way, he's has done most of the dev work on teia.cafe, especially around smart contracts, which I still don't know really how to do. So we've been working together, and he's now my co-founder. So I wanted to kind of do a quick overview of what the new site is like and what we've been up to, just so we have a video version of, you know, basically a pitch, right, of like what our app is about and what we're looking for. So if you're interested in hearing, that's going to be what this video is about. So this is the site, teia.cafe. It's live right now. We've been pushing a lot of updates in the last couple weeks, so it's going to change around a lot. It may be a little unstable here and there, but for the most part, it's finally working. So yeah, so I wanted to kind of like go through each thing that the site currently has, you know, and kind of the vision of like where we want these things to go, especially in the long term. So to start with, just as a disclaimer, I have to say this over and over, but teia.cafe is a company between me and Joe Simon. We are registered. We are a C Corp. But is a completely different entity from teia.art, the Teia community, which is run and governed by the DAO. People get confused because we are using resources from this community to build our business upon. But the main chunks of what the art, this copyright registration system, which I will get into later on, is all managed and run by the nonprofit DAO, which is Teia. So you can go to the governance page and kind of look at all the information here. We also have a community page here that kind of shows, yeah, so this is the nonprofit certificate that Teia owns, you know. It is the first, if not only, how do you call, a decentralized arts community that actually has a formal nonprofit status. So, and I'm in a few weeks I'm going to be like one of their official The reason why I can say that is because we had a vote and it is here. And you want to look at it, you can maybe like take a screenshot or whatever. But basically I am their official biz dev representatives, you know, because they need to. Being decentralized can be tricky because a lot of people are like, I really love the community, but who do I talk to, right? So we talked about it a bit, and we had a vote and saying like, okay, you can talk to me if you have like official matters discussing teia. But at the same time, I gotta also reiterate that teia.cafe is a different thing from teia itself. But if you want to talk to either of us, you know, like either, you can always talk to me. So just need to make that clear. I don't think something like this has ever happened before, like ever, you know. So that's why I have to kind of spend a few minutes explaining it. I am a formal representative of teia, of a decentralized community that voted through a DAO multi-sig proposal, you know, even just saying that, right? So, okay, so, yeah, let's get started then. So, I don't know, Marcelo's great, but I gotta get focused. So, yeah, so one thing, you'll notice that, this is a radio, basically, radio app. And this pulls the content. These are all audio files. So video files are not included in this. We decided not to index it just to make it simpler. But these are all the audio files that have been minted on Hicketnut and teia. Because they both share the same contract, at least for now. So, if you were around for Hen Radio, a lot of the content on here is very similar to what was minted back then. And, you know, that what really was like the, I don't know, people say the golden age of Tezos music, you know, Hen Radio. That's where like a lot of people were here, even some famous people were on Tezos, like just making their music, and it was great, you know. There's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different genres. Yeah, and a lot of them are still available for sale. A lot of them are WAV files, you know, which is like pretty rare, right? Like if you go on Spotify or whatever, you're not going to be able to find WAV files. So yeah, people were like experimenting, trying new things, and it was just like kind of a good time. So we wanted to kind of like bring some of that back. Some of them are so, if you go to the oldest tab here, some of them are so old that this was even before they had cover art, you know. That came later after people complained. See, later on when you go down, but the first few versions don't have any, so there's just this generic logo there for now. So it's kind of interesting to kind of look at it from a historical perspective, because you know how it kind of evolved over time. You can kind of see more and more people started coming in and just minting a lot. This doesn't cover everything because we're limiting it to one track per artist or one, what do you call, wallet. But many of these people have minted like a lot, dozens if not hundreds of songs. So yeah, there's more to it than what you can see here. Okay, so that's the history of it. But the app itself is kind of designed to kind of play things. Hen Radio was great, but it had a lot of problems. For example, you know, it didn't have a volume adjust button. So if you wanted to change the volume, you have to do it directly on your computer or your phone. You know, I mean, it's not necessarily wrong, but, you know, it's just like a lot of things are missing. Tracks wouldn't play properly, which is still kind of a problem even now because of the indexing. But But this version should be a lot more smoother and a lot more stable than that. So, you know, basically wanted to try to make a hidden radio version 2, and we kind of, this is what we came up with. Might notice the color scheme also changes with the image that you click on. So this one has a lot of blue, so it kind of injects that color into the blue, and it's part of the aesthetic and the design of the site, you know. So this is something I came up with and kind of worked on, and the first few versions were pretty janky, but eventually figured it out. This one's just all black and white, just like, you know, just like how my brain works. So yeah, so the color is black and white, you know. This one's purple, so it's purple. So that's kind of like interesting thing about the design. But really, the meat and bones of it is in a lot of these integrated features that can only be found on our site. Really, no other app does this. So one, we don't have a database. We do not track anything. Like, all the information you see here comes directly from the chain. So you notice you'll disconnect or connect your wallet. And you know, you have to connect it like you would with any other app. But everything goes through the blockchain process, right? There's no login, there's no email, and the wallet really is central to what the app is all about, because we wanted to create something that's very purely Web3, you know? So if we started like asking for people's emails or other third-party information, felt that it would like kind of water it down. So we decided to just like kind of keep it purely Web3. So one thing to note is that because we did things in that way, we have to like flesh this out a bit, but all profiles, like normally when you log onto a site, you have a profile page, right? This is going to be your profile page, and you can see like, oh, these are the works I collected. These are the works that I created, right? From an artist's point of view, a collector's point of view. Here are the recommendation engine we'll add later. This will basically be a graph of who you have in common with. So if you own the same tracks as other people, it will recommend you tracks based on ownership, right? And I do feel like that's a much stronger selling point than the usual recommendations engines, because, you know, it's based on purchase behavior, right? And ownership. If you both like the same song, there's a good chance what they like will also be similar to yours, right? As opposed to just like keywords, right, on a music app somewhere in a database, right? Like, you have no idea what they're doing with that stuff, right? But this is pretty straightforward. So we'll be adding that later when we get the time. And then, you know, for people who are doing collections and, you know, people who consider themselves like serious collectors, we're also going to add some data and charts. Just like, you know, stuff like the price of this thing changing over time, or this many, these are like the details of the tracks that you own, like in a nice spreadsheet format, right, where you can kind of look at everything. So that's also in the works. But our main features are actually the playlists and licenses, which we'll get into now. So basically, if you like a song, you can hit favorites, right? And then that goes into your favorites tab here. And these are ones I already added earlier. I'm probably gonna do like a, you know, Ryan's first playlist soon and then share it when it's ready. But these are stored locally in your either your phone or your computer, depending on where you're using it. Because it's a web app, it should be compatible with both, right? So, and then when you're ready, you can click on this Mint Playlists. Ryan's live stream test playlist. I could even do it right now. Maybe I will. And you can also set a curator's fee. So as the person that made this playlist, you will earn commissions whenever someone buys the track through your playlist. And so we want to incentivize people creating playlists basically to help musicians get sales, right? And pretty excited about this. We've been working on this for a while because you know, this should be a win-win for both sides, right? One thing that artists really hate is they hate marketing. And I'm an artist myself, and I can sympathize because I don't like selling myself, especially when it comes to art. You know, you're already like pouring in your heart and soul into this thing that you make, and then on top of that, you gotta like shill for it shamelessly on your own, right? It's not as easy as some people make it to be, you know. Like personally, I think it's better if an artist just focuses on their work and they work with someone like either a manager or an agent. I mean, that's why they exist, you know, to do the sales and, you know, getting the gigs and all that kind of stuff for them. Because, you know, that's what their strengths are, right? For most artists, marketing is not their strength. So this sort of does that a little bit for them, right? So now fans of certain musicians can basically, show their music on behalf of them while earning a little bit themselves. 15%, I don't know, you know, you can put whatever you want here. It really kind of is up to the person doing it. And this does not change. Well, one, you can't have a sale that's lower than the initial price, right? This is just taking the works that the artist has already put out into the market. So they have kind of like agreed that, yeah, this is what I want for it. So you cannot get a sale lower than the asking price, but you can make it higher. And interesting thing is that the way our contract works, this is not going to be, we don't have the display for this yet, but the way the contract currently works, and we're planning on keeping it this way, is that artists will also get a royalty from this fee. So why would you want to do that, right? Why should the artist get a cut of this? Well, it's because in case a curator feels like the artist is underselling themselves, they can set it as high as they want. You can set it for 10,000 million%. You know, now who's gonna buy that? I don't know, but there are stories, you know, where like some unknown artist gets picked up by a label, and they're like, hey, we know you're worth more than you think, so, you know, don't do a gig for $50. Do it for ask 5,000, right? So all of a sudden they're making like, I don't know, right, 10 times, 100 times the amount that they were asking for. Now, normally, you'd go to a lawyer and then you work out an agreement so that both sides feel good about it. But this is on chain, so what you can do is just give them a royalty fee, and in that way, it's permissionless, right? You can just do it, and the artist gets something in return as well. So that is kind of the economics of where we want things to go. It's very, very different from what other places are doing it right now. Some places don't even recognize royalties anymore, which is kind of not the smartest thing, I would say. You cannot, if you want like the entertainment industry and the art industry to take you seriously, you have to have some kind of royalty system, it just doesn't work without it. So we're kind of going the opposite direction of like what the rest of the industry is doing right now, and we're hoping someone out there will understand. So okay, kind of went off on a big it's not a tangent because it's very important, but so when you're done minting this stuff, you can mint playlists. And right now it's just me, but if I wanted to work with other people, I could add more curators and do the split fee thing, as long as it adds up to 100. So I'm just gonna mint this playlist as a test. You can always burn it later if you're not happy with it. Okay, this is not true. It is a little buggy, like I said, but it did show up. It did show up on chain, so I can check that. Your playlists. They said it may take a few minutes to load, so I'm gonna wait for that to happen. Okay, we'll check it later. But so that's the gist of it. Yeah. So you go to your playlists. These are saved locally, and your playlists are the ones that you have minted on chain, and these are all previous tests that we do. This contract has been around a while. It's over a year and a half old. So you remember Tezpol? Yeah, I made a playlist of Tezpol stuff. Still there. The blockchain never forgets, man. So that's what makes it interesting, right? It's no matter how much time has passed, as long as the chain is alive, it's still there. So the other part is people have complained about how hard it is to find things on the internet, right? Regarding, especially with NFTs. So, and it's very, like, making a good search engine is difficult, and there's not that much interest in making search engines for blockchain tech, even though you would think it'd be a perfect fit, right? Because a blockchain is basically a big database, and if there's like a easy, intuitive way to search through it, that'd be great. But it's still too early. So we don't see too many yet, but we do have one that at least works for our music, So it helps a lot that our collection here is very focused, right? It's very focused on audio files in a certain ecosystem, which is Tezos. So it's much doable, but oh man, when I saw this, when Joe added this, I was like, oh my God. I didn't know I needed that until now, you know, because you go on Teia or Object, it's very hard to find songs. Like it's not really built for it, you know. So, okay, so the other one is copyright registry. So, as I mentioned earlier, Teia has a copyright registration system, and if you go to teia.art copyright, you can see how it works, right? So there's a lot of information there, but the gist of it is that you can register your works online, on chain, not just online, but on chain, to create a license around a token that you minted. So in English, that basically means, hey, I'm an artist. I have, oops. Let's see. This is all right. It's my our family dog that I basically moved the grave over from Ethereum onto here, but that's a whole nother. Okay, so I did this track like a couple weeks ago, actually a couple months ago. And I'm gonna be like, hey, I want, I like the track, but someone asked me, can I use the track for a commercial I'm making, or a video, or a movie, I don't know, right? So in order to do that, I can give them permission, right, to broadcast. If they want to like make CDs, print CDs, or like make merch, you could give them the right to reproduce. Right to public display is, being able to play the song in public events. Usually like, like museum openings or like gallery openings, or I don't know, something like a concert. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Create derivative works, sure. So if you want to use, I don't know, Super Mario, you would have to get this permission from Nintendo, otherwise they will come after you. Like, and yeah. Don't underestimate the lawyers from Disney, especially. And then, the point is, like, the artist can specify what people can or cannot do with their works, which is normally ambiguous, and it causes a lot of problems because people don't know, right? Sometimes they use it without the permission and they get in trouble. Sometimes the artist is not clear about what you can or cannot do, and that causes problems on the other end, It's so adding some transparency and clarity, especially to this process, can help. Like, this is what a healthy ecosystem looks like, at least in terms of like content. So right now, if you look at especially Web 2 projects, people are resolving these problems by suing each other, because tech has historically been not that great at copyright law, because half of them think that it should be done away entirely, but they run into these issues as soon as they try to get something substantial done, right? So you can look at kind of the history of Netflix and kind of see, they recently came out with one of the most popular shows to be created ever in the history of the world, right? But if you look at what it took to get there, right? They started as a movie distribution company, right? Their job was to simply send DVDs over to people that wanted them, right? They didn't make the content. But over the years, they're like, hey, I could do this, right? Like, they started to, get interested in making content themselves. So, yeah, but they had to kind of go through all of this. And so the interesting thing really is that the ones that didn't, they basically tried to dodge copyright or IP laws, right? I see it a lot happening in AI right now, and they're going to get in trouble. I guarantee, because if you look at the history of it, the tech has always lost the biggest battles in copyright. If you look at Spotify, YouTube, Napster, any of them, right? All of them eventually caved because they really didn't have a very good argument for why, they should not pay attention to this stuff. So unfortunately, it was kind of a lot of wasted time, and I see the same thing happening over and over again even now. But we don't want to recreate the mistakes of the past, right? So we just want to do things the right way from the beginning, and this is what it is, And I really do think it's going to happen on Tezos. It's going to happen on Teia. Because if you look at Spotify, they pay over half of their income, their revenue, over half of it goes directly to the license holders. And that's a reality, Like, you think they're making tons and tons of money, which they are, but half of that goes right back to the people that license it. Because they don't actually create their own music, right? They're just borrowing music from someone else, and eventually they have to pay up, It'd be interesting to see if Spotify or Pandora or one of those companies self-produce, like actually become producers of music in the same way Netflix does, but we haven't seen that happen yet, I know Pandora had a program called Pandora Amp or something like that. They tried, but it failed, I'm assuming, because you don't hear anything about it, right? But I don't know, either way. So basically, you go on here, and then you mint your work. You give the license. You can use a search function here. So this is something I already added earlier. But if you put in the URL here, it will search for it. Here it is. And I can add the token. So the tokens added, it would auto-generate a written agreement like this. And you see it's very clear what it is, right? It has an ID, the contract that it was minted on. And this is unique. There's only one of this anywhere in the world. And then here's all the goobity-goop about, hey, right to broadcast, and all that stuff. You can read it over and over. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, you can read through it if you really want to, but you get the gist of it, right? Basically, it's this in written form, and this is really easy to do, right? Especially with like AI these days. So, okay, so once you mint it on here, and I don't want to do this because this sticks around forever. Have some test ones. They show up in our page in this marketplace. So some people have tested it out. So Floyd gave it a shot and then say like, okay, here's my work. It's on Teia. And this is what you can or cannot do, right, with it. And because these are things that businesses need, right? If you need to broadcast something, if you need to reproduce something, if you want something for your event, like this is something that people need all the time, everywhere, right? So the market behind this is huge. But how do you find content that you can feel comfortable displaying and not worry about getting sued, right? Like that's really what it comes down to. Like all this AI stuff, people aren't gonna use it because they're afraid of the legal liabilities, right? You know, you can hear either side justifying whatever, but like at the end of the day, for most business people, they're unless they feel like, okay, I can do this. And you know, like most of them want to do the right thing, right? Like if they feel like they're ripping off an artist making a logo, that doesn't make them feel good either, right? So this is just a way to help people do things in the right way, you know? And so here's some licenses we created earlier as tests. But we're hoping in the long term people will use this, and eventually there'll be thousands and thousands of this. And this is basically a database. Not a database, but it is because everything's on chain. It's a collection of things they can browse through to use for their own purposes, right? And it should be good for both sides because they should be willing to pay more because they're paying for the utility, not just the work. And this is also a way for artists to make some money, you know, in a very real way. Because people, you know, it's not unreasonable to ask several $100s for one thing if you can use it for your business, right? For like a year or I don't know, for however long. Yeah, there's also, you know, you can set expiration dates and such. So we tried to be very thorough with this, so that it can be used for both like casual and like professional settings. And it's all happening on this app in this page under copyright. Okay, let's see if the playlist showed up. Oh, did I do my playlists? Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. So yeah, okay, so it does show up. And my favorite tracks. Oh no, this is a different one. Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna have to edit this part out, cause the transaction did go through. It's just not getting indexed, and sometimes it can take a while. But the one that we tried earlier did work. So, but having to explain that take too long. Okay. So, yeah. So, okay. So, finally, when you go into the purchase page, so just click on the QR code or scan it. It should take you there. What's going to happen is that when you buy it, you might notice that there is a message board and there's also the copyright. So if this is registered as a copyright, it's going to show up here. So, you know, if you license your thing here, it'll also show up here. So that's the thing that makes working on Web3 stuff interesting, is because things show up in other places, right? Because it's sort of it's networked, right? It's on-chain. So people are pulling it from the same source, even though they're on different sites. And you know, most websites are very centralized, right? Like everything's controlled by one database or one administrator. But here, things are like networked in a pretty substantial way, you know, especially for something like copyright. We felt it was important for it to be neutral, right? Because if we tried to create our own smart contracts ourselves and we owned it, it would have been a big problem, because I've seen it over and over where like a lot of these companies that do similar projects that we are doing, you know, copyright registration, they tend to become bottlenecks, you know. And unless we have some kind of public ledger that we can verify things, it makes it very difficult to work in good faith, you know. And it's just like, well, hey, where did you register it? Oh, with that one company. And then you got to go through the company and just like hope that they're being honest, right? So here you can kind of verify that for yourself because it's on chain. And then, like I said, the Teia itself is run by a DAO, and you know, you can check all that too. So yeah, so the integrity of the data should not be ever in question, you know, at least when it comes to this kind of stuff. But we also took it a step further, where we have messaging. So this is not quite ready yet, but this is basically email for your wallet. So here's a test, but they're sending, basically you can send messages, again, directly on chain to someone else. And it's very thorough here. Test. And if you happen to know their address, you can paste that in, and it will send it directly to the other wallet, even if you don't know who they are. And basically, this is replacing email with wallet addresses. In the past, there have been similar projects as this, but they always use a third-party database to get it going, right? Like, you would sync your wallet to the website, but the website itself creates an account for you, which they could delete at any time. And all the messages are stored on the database. So a lot of people tried it out for a little while and says like, well, what's the point? I might as well just use Gmail. And then, you know, and it kind of went away because, right. So here, everything's on chain. Like, it'll be here even after our company is gone. Like, so we're trying to build an email network around that. And we figure the best thing for people to talk about, really, is art. So when you go to these pages, you try a different track. When you go to these pages, you'll be able to see who also owns the same work, the artist's address, right? Because that's already there. And anyone who has ever like kind of built something or interacted with this track, you'll be able to message them directly. And interesting, this is Baker here because we originally made this app for bakers who were having trouble reaching out to their delegators, right? From a baker's point of view, they have all these people like staking money with them, but they have no idea who they are. Most of them are anonymous, right? And when they gotta let their stakers know about something, they're like, how do I, right? Some of them even resorted to minting an NFT with a message on it and sending it and airdropping it into their wallet because it was the only thing they could really do, right? I mean, you know, you gotta respect that they were trying, but there's gotta be a better way, right? So this is it. And we might add this to bakeries as well because it's really not that hard to adapt it. But, you know, if we have, but for now, we're sticking with art just to make sure it works, you know. Okay, so those are the main things that are coming with teia.cafe. That's kind of the vision. It's a lot of stuff. And that's why version 1 of our site was pretty messy, you know, admittedly. There's a lot going on, and it was hard to see how it came together. But this version is much more streamlined. It runs a lot better. It's scalable, you know, if it ever needs to get to that point. Right now, we are indexing only audio tracks on Hekinang and Teia, like I mentioned earlier. But we could include other ones later on, right? It's just a modification to the indexer. And right now, our resources are severely limited, let's say. So this is the best we can do. But, you know, if we can get access to another indexer, swapping it out and doing it like this is not a problem. Or we could get more musicians just interested in minting on Teia, which would also be great, you know. Slowed down quite a bit after the market hype died down, but I do think, you know, it can come back, especially on Tezos. So regarding the company itself, we will be working on this, and teia.cafe will definitely be a big part of how we're going to pitch things to people. But we are honestly going, like the way that we're conceptualizing teia.cafe is that because we're working on 2 different streams, like sometimes we push changes to the site on Teia, and then sometimes we do it on teia.cafe. You know, there are 2 different, very different, distinct things, but we have to work on both sides for in order to work, you know? So some things, including that waveform you see there, right? We did. Actually, we could look at the site itself. So I did this revamp of the Teia DAO. You know, I wanted to make all the information about the DAO and about the community more transparent. This does make it easier, right, for us to get support. We did this whole thing, me and Joe. Push for it. We even did a poll. Oh, this one passed. So we do feature requests on here now. So if you didn't know, if you are part of Teia and you have a Teia token, you can create a poll here to kind of like test to see if people want certain features. And we have done a few of them. You go all the way back here. Some of them are just for fun too, which is totally fine as well. Innovate or die. Oh yeah, so we did this one. Brought back text-based NFTs. So if you remember type.art, we brought that back. Would you like to support MIDI base? We also added that. So now you can mint MIDI files on Teia as well. So after doing this for over 2 years now, I figured, what we are really, we're an open source startup. So that's how we're going to be framing what teia.cafe is. Because I think we need a different kind of model than the usual, kind of VC founder-driven startup. All of the work that we do will eventually be open source, regardless of whether it's on Teia or even teia.cafe. Right now, teia.cafe's code is not public because we have really no reason to. And honestly, a lot of this stuff is not complicated, The smart contract, if you want to know how the smart contract works, it's already there. You can see it for yourself. But all of this is just like standard React, JavaScript stuff that anyone can do, right? The design is my kind of crazy way the brain works, right? But tech-wise, anybody can do this, Actually, it's right here. If you want to like take the code and use it for yourself, go ahead, right? A drop-down menu, right? Like these things have been done many times before, and it's not that crazy. So, but the work that happens here, it's very difficult to make a pitch to an investor that's looking for an immediate return, right? The idea is that there's all this work that needs to be done in the ecosystem. There's no incentive for like one startup to work on it. If they're trying to turn a profit, right? This is not really the way. But I do think that it's adding some value, right, to the ecosystem as a whole. Just like kind of how like Teia is there, and a lot of people feel like it's important, even though, right, it's not generating a lot of money immediately. But what it is doing is that it's like building the foundation, right? And if you look at even the history of tech, like a lot of the big ideas that came from it, W3C, ICANN, right? A lot of those inter-company standards, even like the USB format, right? The USB cable that you use every day. Those had to come from different entities kind of like working together on a common goal. And I do think Teia can be that place, at least for NFTs and digital art as a whole, So what we're going to be trying to doing is we're going to be like pitching ourselves as open source startups, looking for funding, and it has to be, grants and stuff like that. And just to be clear, what we're trying to do, it's mostly for people interested in seeing Tezos thrive as a whole, right? Not just one company and a few people getting rich, but what's good for the ecosystem as a whole. And we're hoping, right, that it'll grow the pie and as a whole for everyone involved. So yeah, so that's basically the idea, and I'll be getting into it more. And part of the reason why I started live streaming again is to kind of like talk about this stuff, because as you know, as you notice, this video is very long, and I've tried coming up with ways of the elevator pitch and like condense it into 5 seconds. You just can't, man. So some things have to be talked through, and there's no way around it. So live streaming is kind of a place where I can kind of sit down and be here for a while and explain things in detail to anyone that's interested, and we're gonna see how that goes. So I was on TikTok for a while. That didn't work very well. Anything longer than 5 seconds tends to not get much attention for some reason. All right, so that's it. And if you watched this whole thing, congratulations. Thank you very much. But hoping to, talk about this more. And pretty excited about what's coming later this year. I'm going to be really starting pushing things starting in early October, I think. So check it out. All right, have a good one. See you next time. All right, that should be good. Man, it's still going at it. How long was that? And basically, I'm going to take a clip from that, edit it a bit.
Okay. I think we are.
I don't have a lot of time. I gotta go. I gotta be there by 2. And I gotta get ready. Oh, God. All right. So we'll see how that goes. But if anyone was here, thanks for watching.